Think a moment that you have spent weeks researching the perfect feline sanctuary, investing in a high-end, orthopedic memory foam bed covered in the softest faux fur imaginable. You place it in the most silent corner of your house, hoping your cat to instantly recognize this gesture of love, only to find them 10 minutes later curled up inside a discarded, narrow shipping box in the doorway. This common, often humorous stress for cat owners is actually the gateway into a profound psychological phenomenon known as the nesting mind. It is a biological drive that supersedes luxury, comfort, and even the bond they share with us, rooted in an ancestral need for specific types of safety. To a cat, a home is not a combination of rooms or costly furniture, but rather a series of strategically chosen coordinates that fulfill a complex internal checklist. Interestingly, this isn't just a modern observation. In the rural heartlands of Anatolia, an ancient piece of wisdom suggests that if you are building a new home, you should watch where the cat chooses to rest and build your own living space on that exact spot. This traditional belief treats the cat not just as a pet, but as a master of superforecasting, a creature with a supernatural ability to detect the intersection of warmth, safety, and energy. When we see a cat squeezed into an awkwardly shaped container or perched precariously on top of a kitchen cabinet, we are witnessing a prehistoric survival mechanism in action. They are not simply being weird or stubborn. They are actively scanning their environment for the emotional architecture of safety. In this exploration, we are going to look past the surface-level behaviors and decode the hidden language of feline nesting, revealing what your cat is actually searching for when they reject your version of comfort for their own. The genetic blueprint: why luxury fails. To fully grasp the nesting mind, we must first accept that the domestic cat is essentially a tiny, highly efficient predator that also happens to be small enough to be prey. This dual nature creates a unique psychological tension that dictates every choice they make regarding where they rest and how they occupy space. Unlike humans, who generally view a bedroom as a place for total relaxation and vulnerability, a cat views a nesting spot as a tactical position. Their genetic blueprint tells them that sleep is the most dangerous time of the day, and therefore, the location must provide a mechanical advantage against any perceived threat. This is exactly why that expensive and luxury cat bed often fails to attract them if it is placed in the middle of a high-traffic place of room. In the wild, sleeping on open ground is an invitation to disaster, yet we often ask our cats to do just that because it fits our aesthetic of where a pet bed should go. A cat's instinctual choice leans toward enclosed points because the physical pressure of the walls against their body provides tactile feedback that their six is covered. This is the science of the box. It provides a 360-degree barrier that allows the cat's nervous system to finally drop from a state of hypervigilance into deep, restorative REM sleep. When we catch this point, we stop buying beds based on how they look to us and start choosing them based on how they feel to a creature who is constantly calculating the safety of its perimeter. Vertical architecture and the vantage point. If the ground represents safety through enclosure, then the vertical world represents safety through information. Many cats are tree dwellers by nature, meaning their nesting mind is most at peace when they are looking down on their kingdom from a significant height. This preference for elevation is not just about curiosity or wanting to see what is on the counter. It is about the psychological peace that comes from having a superior vantage point. From a high shelf or the top of a wardrobe, a cat can monitor the movements of everyone in the house without being easily reached or surprised. This vertical architecture serves as a form of passive security that reduces the cat's overall stress levels throughout the day. When a cat is elevated, they feel they have more time to react to any changes in their environment, which allows their internal threat detection system to go offline. If your cat constantly seeks out the highest points in your home, they are likely searching for a sense of control over their territory that the floor simply cannot provide. We must recognize that providing vertical nesting spots is not a luxury for a cat, but a fundamental requirement for their mental health, as it allows them to satisfy their predatory instincts while remaining safely tucked away from the chaos of a busy household. The middle ground, a question of autonomy. At this point in our journey, we must pause to consider a more controversial and open-ended aspect of feline behavior that often sparks debate among behaviorists and owners alike. If we provide the perfect, science-backed environment with high perches and secure boxes, but the cat still chooses to sleep on your laptop or right in the middle of your pillow, is it possible that they are rejecting our design as an act of social dominance or a plea for connection? Some argue that by choosing the spots we value most, cats are engaging in a form of territorial marking that asserts their status within the family hierarchy. Alternatively, could it be that the nesting mind is not purely about physical safety, but also about the scent mapping of their social group? We often focus so much on the physical attributes of a nest, the height, the enclosure, the warmth, that we might be overlooking the olfactory comfort that comes from being enveloped in the scent of their humans. Does your cat choose the wrong spot because they are trying to tell you that your presence is the ultimate safety feature? This brings up a challenging question for every cat owner. Are we over-engineering our homes for their instincts while underestimating their need for social integration? Or is their choice of our stuff merely a practical search for residual heat and familiar smells? The thermal search and microclimates. Beyond the psychological and the social, there is a very literal physiological driver for the nesting mind, the search for the perfect microclimate. Cats have a higher basal body temperature than humans, which means they are constantly losing heat to their environment unless they find a way to trap it. This is why you will see a cat follow a single sliver of sunlight across a hardwood floor throughout the afternoon, or why they insist on nesting inside a wool sweater you left on the bed. They are thermal opportunists, and their nesting mind is finely tuned to detect the subtle differences in temperature across your home. When a cat chooses a nesting spot, they are calculating the energy cost of maintaining their body heat versus the comfort of the location. A soft, insulating material is often more attractive than a high-tech cat tree if the cat tree is located in a drafty hallway. To truly satisfy a cat's nesting mind, we have to think like a heat map, identifying where the pockets of warmth are and ensuring that those spots also meet their requirements for safety and height. By observing where they choose to settle during different times of the day, we can learn a great deal about the thermal landscape of our homes and how to better support their biological need for warmth without forcing them to sacrifice their sense of security. The invisible map, navigating the territorial grid. To understand the nesting mind, we must look at our homes not as a collection of furniture, but as a complex territorial grid that your cat is constantly mapping in real time. This invisible map is composed of high-traffic highways and secluded islands of safety, where every corner serves a specific psychological function. When a cat chooses to nest in a particular spot, they aren't just selecting a cushion. They are claiming a strategic anchor point within this grid. This behavior is a form of spatial negotiation, a way for the cat to assert their presence while maintaining a tactical exit strategy. Have you ever noticed how a cat will suddenly abandon a favorite nesting spot they've used for months, only to never return to it again? This nesting migration often baffles owners, but it is rarely random. It usually signals a subtle shift in the home's energy, perhaps a new draft, a change in light, or a perceived territorial threat from outside a window. By shifting their base of operations, the cat is performing a system reset on their anxiety. Building the sanctuary. Ultimately, understanding the nesting mind requires us to move away from the idea that we are decorating for a pet and toward the idea that we are architecting for a soul. Your cat isn't looking for a bed that matches your curtains. They are looking for a sanctuary that satisfies 1,000,000 years of evolution. They want a place where they can stop being a hunter and stop being prey. A place where the physical boundaries of their nest allow their minds to finally be at rest. When we provide a variety of options, high perches, low enclosures, and warm, scented spaces, we are giving them the greatest gift possible: the autonomy to choose their own safety. Every time your cat settles into a spot and begins that rhythmic, deep-breathing sleep, it is a sign that you have successfully met the demands of their nesting mind. It is a quiet, subtle form of communication that tells you they feel truly at home in the world you have built for them. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the silent, complex world of feline comfort. If you found these insights helpful and want to continue exploring the science and mystery behind our animal companions, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Your support helps us continue to look at the world through their eyes, strengthening the bond between us and the creatures we love. Until next time, keep observing, keep learning, and keep building those perfect sanctuaries.